And a good morning to you. Welcome. It's Martin, Jeff, and the Farmchick coming to you high atop the insurance agency in beautiful downtown Goodland. Yes, we're back at the insurance agency for a very special show this morning here on Eagle Cable Channel 10, KLOE AM radio, and we're streaming to the World Wide Web from our Facebook page, Martin, Jeff, and the Farmchick. Like us on Facebook. On my left, it's the Farmchick.
Yes, good morning, Martin.
Yeah, where's Jeff? Wait, didn't he get the memo?
He's never.
Oh, he did.
He did, but you told him
the
wrong day.
I told him next Thursday, February 27th or something like that.
You were way off.
Spell check. But on my right, we do have a special person as promised. A celebrity, a local.
We need a drum roll.
Goodland High School graduate, Josh Doak,
Yep.
is in the house, folks. Hey, Josh.
Hello, thanks for having me. And I don't know about all this celebrity talk.
We're pretty sure.
And you make a movie and,
When you make a little movie and take it around the world, you're a celebrity.
It's gonna. Is it play in Peoria yet? I mean,
Not yet. We're working on it.
You may have to make a movie called Peoria to get something to play there. But
I found that this might be the best marketing scheme for my filmmaking career. I'm just gonna go around and make films named after towns.
There you go.
I think it's a
There's a built-in audience
idea.
that way.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We're talking about the movie Goodland that you've been working on for a couple of years. We first heard about it last summer at Goodland High School or Sherman County reunion. Kind of made it public, at least to us here in the Goodland area. Of course, a lot of people were in the movie, local people were in the movie, and so they knew about it. We'll talk about that a little bit, but welcome back. This is premiere week here in Goodland of the movie on this Friday night, right?
Friday night at 7 at the Sherman Theater, yes.
And it's going for a 2-week run, is that right?
2-week run. We'll be playing every night at 7 p.m. and also 1:30 matinees on both Saturday and Sunday for the 2 weeks.
Wow.
I am going to see it more than once.
Have you seen it? Didn't you see it in Kansas City?
I have not seen it. I wanted to go to Kansas City. I was not able to make it that weekend, but I have been looking forward to this for a very, very long time. Because when did you film it, Josh?
We came into town and filmed in the fall of 2015, so it's been and that was harvest time, because
so it's been
corn harvest takes a big part in the film. So it's been 2 years since we were in town filming.
So that was intentional to film during harvest,
right? Yeah, it was very crucial to the plot that it took place. We needed combines and cornfields, so it had to be corn harvest. And luckily that year we lucked out and got a great harvest year. The weather cooperated, which is like a miracle. I think, that was one of the big things when I wrote that script. I'm like, this may take months.
Yeah.
Let's back up a little bit. You are a graduate of Goodland High School year
2008.
2008, and attended Kansas.
Yes, I am a University of Kansas graduate.
Rock Chalk.
Graduated in 2012 with my degree in film and media studies.
Did you know when you graduated from Goodland High School that's what you wanted to do, and is that why you went to KU?
I did know that was what I was wanting to do. When I was younger, I was really interested in art. I was always drawing. I thought I might go in that direction. And then when I got into high school, I really found, film editing through, we needed a highlight reel for the football team. And I was on the football team, and I really wanted to put something together for the team at the end of the year. And I was in Mr. Hagerman at the time. He was the art teacher. I was in his art class, and I told him that's what I wanted to do for a project because I knew that we had the editing software. So he totally just opened that up for me, let me use the software. Back then it was a little more archaic, a little different than what I'm working with now, but it was great, and that really kind of opened my eyes to transferring my artistic ability to film. And when I was a senior, I told my parents that I wanted to go to film school, and they were very accepting of that. So
Yay, parents.
Yay, parents,
Yay,
right?
supportive parents. That's awesome,
Because I think a lot of times if a kid says that, parents might go, well, what are you going to do with that? But they were very supportive from the get-go, and I went and looked at several schools. I looked at a couple schools in Colorado, but when it came down to it, I had some in-state scholarships that I really wanted to hold on to. So really the only true film program in Kansas was at
KU.
So I went there.
Makes sense.
And KU has a really
Yeah, they do.
renowned film
They
department,
actually
don't they?
just moved buildings as well. So
Okay.
they're now, we were off campus when I was there, and the building was a little dilapidated, but that's why they moved. So now they have brand new facilities. So if anybody's looking to go to film school, you should check out KU.
There you go.
Now, when did you get the idea for the movie Goodland? And you obviously wrote the script yourself. You wrote the story.
I did,
Was
yes.
that while you were in college, or before, or after?
It was actually, I started writing after I graduated, a couple years after I graduated, actually. But the initial concept for the film I had when I was in high school, and I won't tell you what that little kernel is, because it's moved to later on in the film. So
okay.
it's we can discuss more after people have seen the film.
Yeah,
But-
we don't want to spoil.
You don't want to blow it, yeah.
No, but yes, I had the idea when I was probably about 17, and obviously I evolved as a storyteller, and finally felt like I was ready to write it when I was about 24 years old, and that's when I started writing. And then I sent the script around and got a team behind it, including my business partners. We have a film production company we started after school, and they were on board from jump, and we decided we were going to make it.
And that company is called Rockhaven, is that correct?
Rockhaven Films, yes. We were formerly based out of Lawrence, Kansas, but have recently just moved to Kansas City. So we now have offices in the Crossroads District in Kansas City.
The story, one spoiler we'll do, we've already done actually, is the fact that the planters with all the flowers in them look really good.
Yep.
Yes.
According to your mother.
Yes,
So.
and it comes at a very crucial part in the plot. So they are in the shot, and my poor mother. I think you guys might have told this story, but I'm going to repeat myself, I'm sure, several times throughout the course of me being in Goodland, but. She was so enthralled with seeing Goodland on the screen that I think she was not paying attention to the plot at points. So there was a big reveal, and my mom leans over to me. She was sitting next to me at the premiere. It was I made sure she didn't see anything until I wanted her to see it on the big screen. So she's sitting right next to me, and she leans over and she goes, "The planners look really good." I go, yes.
Hey, we like to hear that.
I go, "Yes, they do, Mom, but are you watching the
Are
movie?"
you watching? You just missed that.
I'm afraid that's what's going to happen to me.
I think that's what's going to happen to me.
Well-
I'm going to say, there's the crazy R's or whatever is in the shot.
Right.
So, yeah.
Or good friend Ron Schilling. Now, he didn't get cut, right?
No, he
The
is.
cow guy.
He
is
really
in
thinks
there.
he's in the movie, and he really is. Huh?
He is really in the movie, yeah. and he took my lines and ran with them. He ad-libbed a little bit, but he's very
I think
proud.
he
I
probably
think of his
would be a
ad-libs.
very good actor. If he wasn't
He
doing
would.
what he's doing now,
Oh yeah,
being
he
the
was
cow
great.
guy, he could probably be an
I just
actor.
hope he remembers who the little people are that helped him
I
along
know
the way.
when he accepts his
you know.
award.
He has some funny lines I think that people will enjoy, especially knowing Ron.
Yeah.
They'll get a kick out of it. But
Yeah.
But to go back real quick to what you guys were talking about, that's something that even when I introduce the film, I'm going to tell people that I know it's going to be hard, but in film we bend time and geography, and you just have to erase everything you know about Goodland and go on this
Ooh.
ride with me. It's going to be hard, and I know that might be a lot to ask for, but there's scenes where something happens, and then you since you are familiar with Goodland, you know that that's not the right place, or someone will for instance, there's a scene that takes place in a bar, and we are in a bar in Lawrence, Kansas,
Okay.
filming, and then he walks out of a bar here in Goodland. So you're gonna
Okay.
know that that's not what that looks
And we're
like.
going to be a little.
That
But
happens all the time
happens
in movie
all
making,
the time
right?
in films.
That happens all the time when I go out to the bar. I walk in one
you walk
bar,
into Lawrence and you come
and
out
the
in
next
Goodland.
second I'm walking out of a different bar, and I don't know what happened. That's not entirely unrealistic, right?
Oh, that's great. Well, yeah, and I get that. And the story itself, it's a mystery, right?
It is. It is.
It's the best way to describe it. Mystery
Yeah,
drama.
I call it what I like to say is a small town crime thriller.
Okay.
But yes, it's definitely revolves around. It's like a murder mystery.
So someone dies.
Yes, and that's
Okay.
not giving any spoilers because it kicks off the
Well,
film.
if you say murder mystery, I didn't
Right.
think I was getting too much away.
It's
so.
right at the very front end, and then the rest of it unravels as a local sheriff is trying to figure out what's going on.
Very good.
We're getting our picture from the Chamber of Commerce
Oh, okay.
folks that we're in the neighborhood, so they promised us a picture. So there it is. We got our picture. Thank you very much. So yeah, you also, some of the scenes were filmed, I understand, in the St. Francis area as well.
Correct, and that's another, just like we were talking about, everything is made to seem like it takes place in Goodland. And as I've always said, it's like a fictionalized version of Goodland. 'Cause something else that happens is oil is discovered on the outskirts of town. It
Okay.
hasn't happened here, but it's explained in the movie. But yeah, so initially I was looking for I really wanted a motel, like a single layer, like one level motel to film at. And I'd always thought about the Motel 7 out there on Highway 24. But when I started, looking into filming out there, there was just a lot of roadblocks, and they told me that it wasn't going to happen. So then I had to broaden my search for the motel, and we found one in St. Francis, the Empire Motel, and they were very accommodating and very, very, very easy to work with. In fact, his name is Ted McCoy, and he allowed us to just have the run of the place for a couple days.
Wow.
So that's kind of the filmmaker's dream, because we're always worried about if we're not on what we call a closed set, where if we're operating in a place where business is happening, we're always impeding someone's business, or we're always in someone's way, and we're not very discreet.
Well, I remember when you were filming down here on Main Street, of course, we pulled up to watch a little bit.
Right.
I thought it was great. It was kind of fun to watch the whole process. How many people were in the process, in the cast and in the crew?
Oh, that's a good question.
Tough question.
I would say on our main crew, we probably had a crew of about 15 people on the crew behind the camera, and then the cast was a revolving door of probably 15 to 20 people.
And I can imagine the scheduling and having everybody here, and how do you get them here, and how do you...
Because we did have to, split up our time. Some of it, the majority of it was filmed in Goodland. We also had some shots or some scenes in Brewster, in St. Francis, then outside of Goodland, in some various fields and locations. We used Jennifer House hooked us up with a barn that we were able to film in. And then we also took some of it back to the Lawrence, Kansas City area, and we did some interiors there.
Okay.
So yeah, the scheduling was, I think all film scheduling is a little bit of a nightmare, because you're dealing with so many people's schedules, and most of the time when you get the crew on board behind the camera, they're locked in and they'll go wherever. But you have to look at the actors' schedules, because you might have an actor who is on set for 5 days, and you have an actor who's on set for 2 days, and they have scenes together. Well, you have to try to line it up so the actor who's on set for 2 days can get their scenes done and go. Otherwise, they're just hanging around for 3 days.
Let's talk about the actors, other than the extras, the Ron Schillings and the like, but the actual actors are real actors, right?
Right, correct, yeah. They are.
And who would you say is the lead in the story?
So I always say that we have two leads, and we spend our time with two characters. There is Sheriff Gaines, who is a female sheriff played by Cinnamon Schultz, and she was actually she's a great actor from the Kansas City area.
From other things.
She does a lot of theater acting in the Kansas City area, but she's also been in a handful of films. So she was actually in Winter's Bone with Jennifer Lawrence. She had a small part in that. So I was super excited when she was expressed interest in the project and came on board, because she's a pro, to say the least. So she's the local sheriff. And then our man of mystery, who has an odd name in the script, his name is Ergo Rains. He is played by Matt Weiss, who is an actor that I first met when I was doing my senior project at KU. He came on board and was my lead, and then since had moved out to New York and is a professional actor. He's been on several network television shows such as Elementary, and I think he was on Shades of Blue recently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, with Jennifer Lopez. I know
yeah.
that show.
Yep. So
Very good.
He's a working actor, and this is his first feature as a lead. So he's pretty excited about it as well.
Wow. In the world of movie making, is it less expensive to shoot a movie on location like you did here in Goodland, where you can use, I mean, you didn't have to, you could use fronts of stores and extras for a very minimal of any cost, right?
Right. Yes, actually. So what they typically tell you in the studio, or in big budget filmmaking, is shooting on location is always more expensive. It's actually easier to build the sets, control the sets, shoot it on a back lot in Hollywood. But for low budget filmmaking, that's just not a possibility. So one thing that I can't express enough is my gratitude to everybody in Goodland, because we essentially turned Goodland into a back lot. Everybody was super accommodating and helped us, and we were able to put more on the screen than what our actual budget was, because people were excited to help out. And that goes for, being able to block off blocks of Main Street for an entire day. Like, that's,
I think everyone around here is so supportive of the movie and of the project, and come back and film again. Heck,
it wouldn't be
come back to town.
This film wouldn't be possible for the budget that we had, which I won't go into too many details, but for the budget that we had, the one thing that I hear over and over again is when I have to disclose the budget to people who are interested in the film, they think that it was at least 3 or 4 times. It looks like it's 3 or 4 times what we actually paid for it, and that's in large part due to the community. When I sent my producer, J.S. Hampton, he is out in L.A. When I sent him, he's done a couple of films for Kevin Wilmot, who is a filmmaker from Kansas as well, from Lawrence, yeah. So when I sent my producer the script, and he knew the budget, and the first thing he was thinking was, this is expensive. He's just going through with like a red pen telling me all these things are expensive. And I was like, I think I can get those things for free. And he's like, well, if you can do it, we'll do it then. And that includes combines and cornfields and, all these things that to other people, not from Goodland, seem like a major expense.
Yeah. Well, I think the look of the film, from looking at the trailer, to not do it on location, it just wouldn't do it justice. And there's a lot of movies that are done in a lot of movies are done in one town, just like you say, supposed to be another town. I'm trying to think of some of my favorite. Northern Exposure, the TV show from the early 90s, was Sicily, Alaska. It was actually shot in Washington State, I think.
Right. Yeah.
But really looked the part. And but Goodland is Goodland. The movie Goodland is about Goodland. Do you use the word Kansas in the movie at all?
I do, yes.
So it is Goodland, Kansas.
Right. And a lot of people, since we have gone on the road with this film and shown it at various film festivals and even international film festivals, a lot of people think Goodland is a made-up place. And I always tell them, no, that it's my hometown.
Texas.
That's because we have
like
the
that,
best name in the world. I
Right.
mean, who doesn't want to be in Goodland?
Well,
it's the best name.
In fact, I had a different title on the script initially. And my producer was just like, I just want to call it Goodland. He goes, it lines up with the themes. He said, for you, that's the name of your hometown, and it may be hard to like break out of that for a while, but he's like, for everybody else, that's a great title for a film. And I think he was right.
Well, the trailer's fabulous. I mean, everybody needs to get on.
Yeah.
I mean, you need to come to the movie in the next 2 weeks for sure here in Goodland. But get on and check the trailer out. That'll make you want to come for sure.
Well, I hope
the
so.
first time I saw that trailer, I was like, okay, now I really can't wait.
I really want to see what the movie. I hope I can get past the planters and.
We're gonna have to see it more than once, Martin.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I plan on it.
I have to give a lot of credit for not only the trailer, that was cut by my business partner and editor, Edward Schroer. He really definitely took on the trailer and made it what it is, but also the look of the film was shot by my other business partner, Ian Trimble, which, Jessica, I think you've met Ian.
Meet Ian, yes.
So we've been working together for almost a decade now, so we put in a lot of time together to come up with these results. And I mentioned my producer, J.S. Hampton, couldn't have done any of this without him. But then also locally, Holton Whitman was a huge asset on this film. I can't speak highly enough of that kid. He's actually the reason. I don't know if you guys have seen in the trailer, but we have a cop car that
yes, an old
it's a 1990 Crown Vic, and Holton was doing location scouts with me and just involved in the entire process, and we were looking to get a cop car, and at a time that's what I always had visioned, that exact cop car. But, we were going to settle for, a newer model that we knew we could get our hands on. I was looking at it, and that car just landed at Dan Brenner's probably the week before we needed to make a decision.
Really?
And we started looking at it, and Holton's like, I think me and my grandfather could, paint this and turn it into the cop car. I'm like, well, if you think you can do it, and he's like, I can do it. And so we talked to Dan, and he made us a really good deal on the cop car. He actually sold it to us for $1. That was his donation, and we're gonna come back in and do some commercial work for Dan for helping us out. But that was another big contribution.
That's great.
Sure enough, Holton took it, and I think it was a 2-week process. Maybe he didn't even have that much time, but he turned it in. If you come see the film, there's an old cop car.
I remember that one in the trailer. Yes, I do.
Yeah. And Sheriff Penalto donated the light bar for the top of it. So
very good.
It was a team effort for sure.
I failed to mention at the beginning of this little show that time flies when we're having fun, so we don't have a whole lot of time left. But the premiere is officially Friday night at 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock at the Sherman Theater. Big thank you to David Branda. He's I'll just say this one. I know we don't have a lot more time, but we really have a gem here in Goodland with that theater.
I say that all the time.
I hope everybody appreciates that, because we went in on Saturday and did a test. We tested the film because I got basically a new version of it, and this will be the first time that it'll ever be heard in complete 5.1 surround sound.
Oh,
really?
Yeah,
that's exciting.
So
wow.
Here in Goodland will be the first time that happens, and that's in big part to David and the theater. But
will you be there at least on Friday to introduce?
I will. So I will be there on Friday to introduce the film and then have a Q&A afterwards.
Okay.
And I will also be there. So like I said, we're running for 2 weeks. I will be there during the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday screenings of both weeks. So if you can't come to the premiere, I will be there both at the matinee and the regular showtime on Saturday and Sunday.
Fantastic.
I just think everyone needs to make it a point to come see this film. Local, hometown GHS grad. We're really proud of you, Josh.
It should be a sellout every night. It's just going to be big, and can't wait. I want to thank before we run out of time here. We're at the insurance agency. Your mother, Susan, is one of the partners here. Roxanne Kling, sitting quietly in the corner there, said she wasn't going to speak today. And of course, Judy Nemechek, she never wants to speak. So, but I want to thank them for letting us do the show here instead of our little storeroom studio.
Yes.
So stop by and see the ladies here at the insurance agency for all your insurance needs. And one of our sponsors, longtime sponsors of this show, and we appreciate them allowing us to be here. And I'm sure your parents will be at some of the showings of the premiere. And
they will, yeah. They'll be at the premiere, and then I have some family coming in for various screenings. So I'm sure they'll get their fill of the film.
That is great. We are excited, and I'm just looking forward to it. I can't wait. I've been waiting for this for a long time to come see this film. So, I'm a big film.
She's a big Hollywood.
I'm a big
type on the carpet, red carpet.
Josh,
thing.
if you need a seat filler when you accept your Oscar,
all right, I will keep that in mind.
That's been on my bucket list. All I want to be is a seat filler. I don't need anything else. So just keep that in mind.
And the cow guy, Ron Schilling, thinks he's probably going to be a contender for best supporting.
Right.
Probably be more of a best supporting actor. And because he's already won a Cabby Award.
Well, so have I.
Well, you have too.
Yeah.
KAB radio.
Right.
But they call him the Cabby.
But I think, I don't know what your time says, but we look forward to things you're going to do in the future. This is just the beginning.
Yes.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it was a learning process for sure, and I look forward to future projects. 2 years with one project is a long time, but that's kind of the run.
That's kind of the way it goes.
Yeah.
It sounds like. So, and if you ever want to, you're always welcome. I'm sure David would let you premiere any new movie here in the future. So
I would be more than happy to do
maybe
so.
A sequel, Goodland 2.
Right.
We always make jokes on set that the sequel is going to be called Goodlander.
Yeah.
Like Outlander, yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well,
yeah, that would be good.
It's I've always said out here we're a welcoming community, and we're a great bunch of people out here. So it makes my heart happy to hear that it was filmed here, and we got the recognition we deserve, and you did too as well. So just good news all around.
You've got a lot of things going on this week. I know you've spoke at Rotary on Tuesday, or Kiwanis on Tuesday, Rotary this Friday, and amongst other things, and of course. Thanksgiving's next week. It still ties in with you going to be here during the holiday. And
I will, yeah. And so, I'll be, like I said, I'll be here again that weekend.
Thanksgiving night?
It will show on Thanksgiving night.
Perfect.
Perfect.
And hopefully we get a resurgence of some people coming home for Thanksgiving, and they'll go see it on.
Have people home. That's great.
Yeah.
We'll keep talking about it. We'll do a show next week.
Okay.
And we'll talk more about it next week as well. So, and continue to encourage folks. Thanks, Josh, for allowing us to visit with you. It's been very interesting.
Of course, thanks for having me.
And
I know can't we go another half hour?
I wish. I really would. Time is tight, as they say, and but go see the movie. Goodland premieres this Friday night for a 2-week run at the Sherman Theater here in Goodland, Kansas, and go online and Google that trailer. I was telling you, I think I was telling you the story. I was in Hayes at my company's headquarters, and I brought up the name of the movie Goodland to one of my production guys, and another one of them shot out behind the corner and says, "The movie Goodland's coming to Goodland? I gotta come. Can I get tickets?" And I said, "How do you know about this?" He said, "Oh, everybody knows about this." So the word's getting around.
Facebook page.
There is a Facebook page.
Well.
Facebook page, okay.
Yeah, Facebook. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, even though we don't tweet all that often. So Facebook's probably the best to find us at.
Sounds great. Thanks. Josh Doak, the writer-director of the movie Goodland, premiering here in Goodland on Friday night at the Sherman Theater. Thanks, Farmchick. We didn't get a chance to talk about Jeff, but when he didn't show up, we don't. Of course, it was my mistake. So that's Martin, Jeff, and the Farmchick for this week. Brought to you by the Insurance Agency, Northwest Tech, Eckland Insurance LLC, Elliott's Home Furnishings, Goodland Sonic Drive-In, here on Eagle Cable Channel 10 and KLOE AM Radio, and streaming from our Facebook page, Martin, Jeff, and the Farmchick. Like us on Facebook. We'll catch you next week for our special Thanksgiving show here on Martin, Jeff, and the Farmchick.